everybody. How's it going? Hope everybody enjoyed their long weekend here in the U.S. I know I did. And I got some sun yesterday. A little red today. First time I've been out in the sun that long. Hey, Matthew. Let me get my question box a little bigger here so I can read. Whoa. Here comes all the Facebook notifications. Cool. Seems to be working pretty good. All right. Hello. Can everybody hear me okay? Bert, can you hear me okay? Hey, Bert. Okay, cool. Here we go. We'll get some responses now.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Sounds good. All right, guys. We're about ready to start here. A few more people are coming on. See the ticker ticking up a little bit. Give everybody just a couple more minutes. It's exactly 1 minute past the hour. Let's shut my phone off here. Okay, that's good. Buzzing. All right, guys. Well, we're going to get started here in just a minute. Still see a few more people coming on. If you're coming on now, say hello, so I know you can hear me okay. One thing to note: sometimes GoToWebinar might drop sound. It does that periodically for some people. Just know that it's probably something on your end. Maybe just restart, log out, log back in, something like that. There's generally not anything we can do on this end. If I lose sound with anyone, I'll certainly be the first one to let the guys know that we have a problem. But typically, if you lose sound on your end, it's just something to do with your bandwidth. Sometimes if you just shut down Skype, that usually helps. I know it does for me sometimes. But that's about it. And you guys ready to get going? Chris, can you hear me okay?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, good. I hear you loud and clear too. All right, Herc, when you're ready to hit the record button, I will get this started.
Okay, I'm going to hit the record button starting in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody. Todd Spears here, along with my partner, Herc Magnus, and this is the third webinar in our training series with Chris Winters. If you've been on the last two webinars, I know you learned a lot about ranking in the Google 3-pack. Some very good information in that training. You really should go back and watch that. It's really not that long. It's probably about an hour of some really good content. I know I certainly learned a lot, picked up a lot of good resources. And then on Saturday, we had another very, very important webinar about pay-per-call, where Chris demonstrated how easy it is to get your clients' phones to ring. So that was just an amazing eye-opener for me the first time that I watched Chris present that to us. So I highly encourage you all, if you haven't already, to go back and watch those first two webinars that we did. We'll provide you a link again to those pages where all of the replays are, so don't worry about that, to make sure you guys can go out and watch that training. It's very, very good stuff. All right, so getting to today, we are going to, Chris is going to come on in just a minute, and he's going to reveal how he gets clients basically on demand, how he was able to scale and grow his business, gosh, to big numbers. I know if you go back and watch the webinars, he showed a couple of screenshots of some pretty amazing numbers that he's been doing by growing his agency. So backing up just a minute, now the first two webinars, there's a lot of great information on how to service these clients, how to get them leads, how to make them more money, and obviously they pay you for that service. Now, we hear this all the time, and I'm no exception to this, but getting the clients seems to be always kind of more of a sticking point, because a lot of us, don't like to sell, don't like to cold call. You know, it's kind of just not our cup of tea. Most of us, you know, we really know how to provide the service, but doing the sales part and bringing in the clients is typically, you know, the bottleneck. But don't fear that now. Chris is going to come on here and show us, you know, kind of how he does what he does, and hopefully you'll learn a lot from that. And then we'll go take it from there. Chris, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you okay. If someone can share the, swap the screen over to me, that would be great.
Okay, cool. Well, Chris, I will let you take it away now. And Herc and I will just be over here in the background answering you guys' questions. So be sure to give us some feedback back in the chat box, and we'll get to you. Thanks.
Okay, great. So I'll just wait for that screen to pass over to me, and we'll get started here in just a second on this end of it. So hopefully a lot of you out there have already taken action on the current training that I've already provided. It's complete training on that. So some really good stuff and automated stuff, because I am a systems guy. Okay, looks like I've got my screen here. So what I'm going to do here, just to make things a little bit more personal, is I'm going to have the video up. Lighting's kind of bad, but that's okay. Just so you know, there's a real person back here on that. So if you can see my screen and hear me okay, and then see my little face somewhere off the left or top of your screen, just type a 1 in the chat box. I'll get that confirmation going. And yep, looks like we got some ones there. So we will begin. Get my presentation open. All righty. I'm excited about this one. This is absolutely the best of the 3 by far. Okay, so the title of this this webinar here today is the #1 secret to growing your business. Getting as many prepaid, that's really important, prepaid clients as you want when you want. So literally the #1 reason my agency has grown so large and so fast is because whenever we want clients, we can just go out and get them. Super easy on that. So you're sitting here right here. Is this for you? Is this worth your time to sit here for the next 50, 45 minutes on here? Look, if you've ever struggled to get a steady stream of clients, then you're in the right spot right now. If you want to scale and grow your business as fast as you want, this is for you. If the thought of cold calling is clients terrifies you like it does me, I refuse to do it, then this is the call for you on here. Look, if you have no company website, literally none, you have no experience, you have 0 case studies to like show other clients, you have no online authority in your niche, then this is the training for you. Alrighty, I want to add a little bit bonus on here, and I'm going to give you, as long as you stick around to the end of this training, I'm going to give you my course on how to hire your dream team. Look, this is the one thing that really turned my business around. I spent years hiring and firing literally hundreds of people and losing so much money in opportunity costs because I thought they were all stupid. And that's not it. It was my fault the entire time. It took me years to figure that out. So this is an entire course. You get it for absolutely free. I will give it to you at the end as a bonus for sticking around. And included in it, now today I have an internal full-time HR department. So all this information is from them. So it's the secret source that I use to post my job descriptions. This is not like hireafilipino.com or some nonsense like that. That's the worst place you can go to. And this is not paid. This is free. You'll be one of the few gringos ever to be posting in there. And it's where you find all the gold nuggets in there. How to write a job description, and more importantly, how to vet out all the losers on that. Because a lot of people will apply, but you don't even want to spend any attention to them. So I'll show you step by step how my team weeds out 95% of them, just automated, okay? And also how I create my internal company training. That's a living, growing document that every company has got to have on that. Look, all the mistakes I made since 2009, you don't have to make any of them with this training, okay? So with that, and I love this quote by Steve Jobs, hiring the best is your most important task. Seriously, it is absolutely, building your dream team is the most important thing. A lot of people say customers are the most important thing. I say, your team is the most important thing. Customers are second. Okay, also towards the end here, I'm going to share with you, what I'm going to share with you today, I actually taught this at the University of Nevada, okay, this year in July. in this very auditorium. Now, there was some crazy stuff happening on stage here. In fact, some stuff that has never happened before in history anywhere that I know of. I'll share more of that later with you. Okay, a little bit about me. My name is Chris Winters. I'm the founder of Cole Zoo. Really quick background on here. I used to be homeless. I used to live in this right here. I lived in this back in 2008. One night, I was about 2 in the morning. I was sitting outside of a Starbucks in my car with my laptop open. Why was I doing that? Because I was getting free Wi-Fi from Starbucks. And while I was online, I saw a contest. It was a fitness contest by Bill Phillips. Maybe you've heard of Bill Phillips' Body for Life. This was Bill Phillips' new contest called Transformation. First prize was $50,000. Happened to be I was broke, living in my car, and I was really overweight. So I thought, you know what, I better join it. I ended up winning the contest, and that changed everything for me. From that point on, I started touring and speaking on behalf of Bill Phillips, his products, his whole book, and his transformation stuff on that. And that was me and Paul Abdul used to do that. And we traveled all over the United States. She's a great, great person. And I used to actually be the keynote speaker. It was always tough to follow her up, though, I'll be honest with you. I took what I learned from my transformation physically, and I applied it to my business. I said, if I can transform myself physically like that, why not my business on that? And I did. And then I got a lot of popularity. I started getting calls to come in on morning shows and all this kind of stuff. And this is me backstage in San Diego with John Assler from The Secret. And then I got the attention of the great, the legendary Dan Kennedy. Got a call from his office saying, hey, Dan, I'd like to invite you down to do an interview. He was interviewing people for some, I don't know, something to do with people who had made over $1 million during the so-called depression in 2008, 2009, 2010. And I turned it down. I didn't even know who the guy was. Luckily, somebody I spoke with said, what? Are you crazy? You can't turn that down. So that's me and Dan. Dan's interviewing me. So, okay. So what I share with you, I learned by selling $8,365,779 in leads in 2017, and then sold another $785,772.13 this April on that. Here's a quick summary of that. I'm not showing this to brag, and by no means am I taking all this home at all. I have a huge team and staff that I could not survive without them. And I probably take home around 22% of that, which is not bad. I'm not bragging on here at all. I'm just showing you what is possible. And I'm also reminding you here that, look, what I've shared with you so far about the Google 3-pack, ranking that, pay-per-call ads, and what I'm going to share with you today about acquiring clients, this is all stuff I've been doing since 2009. You can go back and find videos. I've been talking about the same stuff. I have not changed my tune since then, okay? So look, some house rules on here. This is no get rich quick. This is no do nothing, get paid. That's not what I've ever promoted on here. And my results aren't remotely typical. In fact, most people who watch any how to make money training will not make any money whatsoever. And the reason is that a lot of people think they want to be entrepreneurs. They want to have their own business. But the truth of the matter is that owning and running your own business, no matter glamorous how it may look on Instagram and Facebook, it takes a lot of work. A lot of people will buy a course, can be a good course. They come up into something, a little bit of tension, and they just kind of give up. And then they wait for the next shiny course, and then they just keep buying and buying and buying. That's usually what happens. Okay, so I got a confession. Okay, yes, I have a huge advantage over all of you, right? I've worked my butt off. I was trained by Dan Kennedy, among others, and I've spent the 8 years building my lead gen agency day and night. Okay, so look, this is my promise to you and everybody listening to this, to honor your time, and by sharing with you something of value and life-changing. I underline that for a reason. Look, I didn't say life-changing on the first 2 calls, okay? They were good. I got some great feedback. I had people PM me all kinds of stuff. Now, I love to hear that. I appreciate the feedback. But what I'm going to share with you is life-changing. And I mean that. And I'm not trying to be hypey or something. So stay tuned. You're going to find out why. Okay. So I'm asking you if you'll do a favor for me. Okay. Last couple of days, I've done a lot of things for you. You don't have to do anything back for me, but I'm asking for one favor. And this favor is really a favor to yourself. is that when you're listening to me, and this is going to be a pretty short call, but just for the rest of the call, when you listen to me, I want you to make sure that you're playing this to win, that you're in this game to win versus playing not to lose. Playing not to lose, what does that mean? Playing not to lose means, look, you're going to be super careful and you're always going to look for reasons not to do something. And you find a reason, oh, well, Chris is really good at that, so, and he's really disciplined, so I'm not, so I can't do that. I save myself from trying to fail at something. Don't do that. People spend their whole lives playing not to lose. I want you to play to win, man. These guys play to win. Cristiano Ronaldo on here, of course, arguably one of the best basketball players of all time on that. These guys play to win. I want you to play to win too. Don't play not to lose. Okay. So I want to just recap really quickly what I've shared with you so far. How I rank my clients who go 3-pack when 100% automated while getting my clients' site to rank also in the top 3. I shared with you case studies on that. You saw that happening. Okay. Recall that I easily charged $2 to $5K a month reoccurring for that services on that. And I shared all of my sources, all the sources that I used to automate the ranking, the Google 3-pack. And in doing that, how I retain the clients month after month. And I continue to collect that. And it only takes my team about an hour or 2 per month work. Everyone's happy with that system. And then I also shared my call only ads. Now that one, I got some great feedback on the first call, but the last call was off the hook. These are just some of the comments that I got in here. I mean, people are saying this is freaking solid, awesome on here, amazing, fresh, straightforward, no BS, to the point, brilliant. I got PMs. I was getting people PM me on that. This presentation was out of this world, completely changed how I do my business already. Can't wait for Mondays. Look, this time, that's kind of cool, and people are implementing it. This is going to be life-changing what I'm sharing with you here. Look, I want to go make sure that you understand this aspect of the last call, and that was the call-only ads. Just really briefly on here, the exact same keywords. Which one is going to cost more? We have pay-per-click on the desktop, and that's the one on the left, and then the right is the smartphone tap to call or call-only ads. The exact same keywords. Both Google AdWords, one is pay-per-click, the other is pay-per-call, the call-only ads on the right-hand side. The cost, the price difference is a fraction for the same keywords, the same searchers, everything. But the only difference is that they're on the mobile phone. We all know that everyone's moving to mobile, especially with local. It dominates any PCs on here, okay? And I went over, if you recall, I logged into my account, my AdWords account, and I found some pest control call only ads. They're only around $2 a call, a direct call right to my clients on that. And pest control is one of the niches that I'm in. But pest control pay-per-click, and that was around $19 a click. And we all know that it takes at least 4, if not 5 or 6 people to click on that ad each time. That $20 is counting up before you actually get a call. Okay, and that's what these businesses need. They need calls on here. And the most dramatic one was a DUI lawyer. It's about $2.22 for a call. Now the clicks, $150 a click, okay? So this is real stuff, and this is why people got so excited about it, okay? I called it selling money at a discount. It's like, hey, I'm selling $1 bills for 50 cents. Who's gonna buy that? All day long, right? So, and how I made money with that, and how I suggest you do it too, is that in our plumber niche, here's just 2 keywords on here, about $2 a call for each one of those. I charge on that $40 a call. I back out any kind of expenses that I have. Let's just say $5, that's on the high end. It's $35 profit per call. I can easily deliver 50 calls per month in a mid-range city, no problem on that. 6 clients, we hit that kind of golden 10,000 a month number. I don't know if that's still a number out there, but I seem to recall it used to be. Okay, so look, the biggest challenge in building an offline lead gen business is not the technical stuff. Look, I've shared with you guys some technical stuff so far, and that's not the challenge on here. It's not SEO. It's not getting to rank on that. That is not the biggest challenge out there. Rather, the biggest challenge and the #1 reason people fail at this business is because they cannot get a steady stream of paying clients. What happens usually is you learn some great technique or skill out there. You're all excited about it. You're like, wow, this is amazing. If only I could get this in front of clients. And then you kind of hoping that they come, and maybe you share it with a friend, and a friend maybe shares it with someone else, and then you get someone else, and it's like your first client, but they're not really in the ideal niche for what you learn, but you take them on anyways. It's kind of a bumpy road, and they don't want to pay you anything in the beginning, but you keep going because you want to get a client on that, and then they eventually start paying you, but they underpay you, and they just don't respect you. I've been there, I've done that. And then you're afraid to lose them, so you're always catering to them, all that kind of stuff. Look, in this business, in my opinion, 50% of customers you shouldn't even take on. And if you got bad ones, you should be able to fire them like instantly. And you can only do that if you know that you got a steady stream of clients to come in anytime you want. Then you get to work with the kind of people that know how to run businesses, the kind of people that inspire you. Instead of, most of the time, people starting out this business, the kind of clients they get are clients who they're just starting out themselves. They probably never did any paid advertising before, and they're desperate. They don't even understand business. Okay, those are the worst kind of clients to have. Look, without paying clients, or you just have a couple of clients out there that are underpaying you and abusing you and not respecting your time, you don't have a business, man. What you got must be deadly. Let's be honest about this. You got an expensive hobby, and that's it. And then what happens, and I've been there, so I'm talking from experience. Okay, I'm not talking at you, I'm talking from personal experience. Then what do you do? Well, another shiny object comes on. It's in the same maybe offline niche. I was, wow, that's good. So you go and learn that. Now you feel all excited again. Now you have two skill sets. You could go out and really help people, but still got the problem. You don't have clients on that end of it. So look, when I coach students on that, I always recommend that they get paying clients first, then learn how to fulfill the service. And I don't mean that black and white. I mean, basically understand what you're going to fulfill. Okay, understand the basics of it, but then focus all your energy on getting the client, because you're really only going to learn SEO. You're really only going to learn paid ads. You're really only going to learn Facebook ads. You're really going to learn Google 3-pack if you're actually in the trenches doing the work day in and day out, and you should get paid for that. Okay, that's the only way you're going to go. And I've never seen someone learn some technique faster than if they've got a check in hand. Okay, so look, a lot of the stuff that I do, it's kind of backwards. I don't follow the crowd. I go just the opposite way on here. And that was an example right there. Get your clients first. Don't start learning a bunch of skill sets and wait for the perfect day to happen, because the perfect day ain't coming. Okay. So look, the problem is everyone's focused on learning the skills first and getting the clients second. This is going to lead to failure almost all of the time. Okay, so I'm not recommending this method at all, but it's what everyone else is doing. Okay, look, success is achieved by getting paying clients first and then fulfilling the service. I've seen it done time and time again. I've seen it with my business. It's the way to go. So look, I just want you to imagine for a second on here what it would be like if you never had to cold call again. Zero cold calling, because that's just painful. Actually, prospects, regardless of your offline niche, call you. They're ready to prepay, because we do. I never let anyone. I never tell. We don't, and I would never recommend anyone else take on a client for free. They got to have skin in the game, otherwise they just don't respect you. And again, that's a hobby. That's volunteer work. Okay. How about zero selling? It's not a hard sell. It's just people come in pre-framed, ready. They have a few questions. They might have a couple of concerns. Answer them. Done. You don't need to have any authority in this. In other words, you can have zero clients. They'll never know. You can have no website. You don't need some kind of fancy website with all that seen on NBC, ABC, as seen on. That's all baloney anyways. 9% of that stuff is just fake. Okay. You don't need any of that stuff. You don't need any social media, nothing. You just need them to call and then fulfill the service. It's really that simple. Okay. And so, all right. So what I want to share with you is an opportunity that works so well that it produces life-changing results. like these. Let's bring you back to the University of Nevada. This is January of this year. I was speaking, and what I was speaking on, my first intro keynote speech was, of all things, about how college is backwards, complete waste of money, unless you want to become like a doctor, a lawyer, you want to become a scientist, an engineer, something that actually requires it. Other than that, college is not for most people. Other than that, college has not changed, and the learning process has not changed in 200 years. It's backwards. And it's completely out of whack on here. Look, in-state public college for 2017-18 has averaged $25,000 a year. That's ridiculous. It's a totally rigged game. The books, man, some of those books are $200-300 a piece for used ones. That's insanity. And every year they come up with a new edition. What? It's crazy. Okay. So, and all of that for what, a bachelor's degree, where an average weekly salary of a bachelor's degree is $1,137. So that's what I spoke about in this hall, in this very hall. This was also streamed live to over 800 people as well. I tell you, some of the professors in that school that were sitting in here were squirming in their seat. We did have some call-in members, and we invited some public to come in here. So maybe some of you on this call might have been there. What I want to point your attention to, and this is something that I'm going to tell you about that has, as far as I know, has never happened live in the history of anything before. In this little black door right down here in the lower left-hand part of your screen, while I was giving presentations, and we had other people giving presentations on here, and then behind this black door, there was something spectacular happening. There was a group of 15 people in here, and they had never made money online ever in their life. They were complete newbies. And our challenge was on here is that we were going to show them my system to get their phone to blow up. And all they'd have to do is follow my scripts of every possible question they would ask, and they had an answer for it. And then every time they closed a deal by either closing it with PayPal or with a Stripe account, then I wanted them to come up on stage. And you know what? We didn't know if it was going to work or not. And it worked like gangbusters. We had people coming up, and this was all filmed too. We had people coming up every 15, 20 minutes, every 30 minutes. It was a 2-day event. They were coming up on stage with these checks on here. People had never made money before on here because they didn't even have any skill sets. They had no skill set, but we taught them how to get clients on here, and they were getting clients. It was the beginning of the year, the worst time of the year to do it, was on the weekend. And it was working like crazy. So here's first client, collected $500 up front. Another first client, $500 up front. It's happening the whole time. Meanwhile, my first opening keynote speech on that about how schools are backwards and they don't really prepare you for school, anything like that. We were preparing people for life and to replace their job just over broke right there live. You couldn't argue with me at that point. Couldn't argue with me. I mean, great. You want to go to school for academics, that kind of stuff, fantastic. I have nothing against it. But you know what? You want to go there and get in debt because you think you're going to get a high-paying job? No, that's just not what it is. Anyways, so how many of you think that's pretty cool? Type in a 1 in the chat box if you think that's pretty cool. Whether you agree with me or not about college, that's a whole nother thing. We don't need to agree. We can agree to disagree if you want. But yeah, it is really cool, right? So look. The coolness continues with more results. So we knew we were on to something at that point. It's the same system I've been using in my company for years on that. And so we spread it out in here. And it said, look, I have 3 clients already. I will take an easy on that 20 to 25 per month on that. And here, look. Check this out. This is someone here who says, I'm blind. Says, I'm blind. And I got a new client today. He's in the personal injury niche. It's awesome. All right. Here's Joseph on here. He closed an agreement for $15K with a $5K deposit, and he updated us and let us know he picked up another client. On that, 24 hours, 2 clients, $500 a piece. Boom. Announcement, finally quit my job. He's up to 62 clients, 24 years old. He had a really good job. He's a sharp kid. He's making like 85 grand a year. I want you to notice that he didn't quit his job until he had 62 clients. I'll tell you more about that later, but this system doesn't take a whole lot of time. That's the key. We have Marlon, the money man. This guy is awesome. And this is one of his monthly earnings on here, 21K. Just got paid $250 per prepayment for 3 clients on here. It is for 5 calls. So how much are the calls? Do you remember that? How much are the calls? How much are 5 calls going to cost Simon? About $2 a piece, right? Maybe 2 1/4, and he's charging $250. And that's just a let's start small, let's get started. That's all that is. And then he's going to be able to deliver 30, 40, 50 calls a month every month to this particular client. This is just to test him out. But even to test it out, he's only going to be spending about 10 or 15 bucks. And that's crazy, right? Woke up, here's Gorik is a digital nomad on here. Look, he's wrote in, hey, I woke up this morning in Bangkok, 2 new clients. Bam. Here's another one. I'm just showing these. We got so many of these. It's ridiculous. I'll start getting through this quicker. It's clients. And I got 300 up front for that. Again, that's just a tester. 10 leads at $30 a piece. 10 leads. It's only going to cost them about $3 at most for that. $30. And that's really nice margins. Okay, close my first client, $500 a day. Goes on and on and on and on. Look, just a reminder for some of you who may have hopped on late. You're going to want to stick around to the end because I'm going to give you a bonus, a reward for that. And that's going to give you my complete guide to hiring your dream team. This is a guide like you've never seen before because most of it is just in theory. This is what I actually do. I have a full-on team, over 34 employees. I've hired and fired over 100 since 2009. I've messed up every possible way. I now have a full-time internal HR department. We are constantly hiring. We never stop hiring because we're always looking for talent. On that, hiring is the best. Hiring, the best is your most important task. That's what you should be doing by Steve Jobs, okay? So if you think you're going to be a one-man show, don't. Or one woman, don't. That's just not the way to go. If I offered you my proprietary system on here for getting prospects in any offline niche to call you ready and willing to buy your services, think how that would change your life forever. If I just hand that over to you and I said, look, here's the system. You can start getting clients like same day, just like these other people did live on the audience and others have done after that. How would that change your life? What if you got 20 clients? What if you got 30 clients? What if you got 60 clients? Jamie's got well over 75 clients at this point. That post is a little bit old. And this is recurring. This is not one time, okay? So look, like everything else so far, I go against the grain. I definitely do not follow the herd. I'm not one for college. I'm not one for living in one spot, getting a home, getting in debt, all that kind of stuff. I'm not into that. I swim the other way. Likewise on here, I'm going to swim the other way by reminding you on here of a favor that I asked of you earlier on here. And that is, when you listen to me on this, and I really want you to play to win on here. Don't play to lose. That is, look for reasons why this will not work for you. And here's my promise to you. I'm going to guarantee you a minimum of 5 prepaid clients, reoccurring 5 up front. I guarantee it. No one else can do that. I'm going to take it even further than that. I'm going to guarantee that if you get 10, and these are all prepaid clients up front, I'll give you 50% of your tuition back. And here, this is craziness, right? If you get 20 prepaid clients, I'll refund you 100% of your tuition. That's how much I want you to succeed. This is how badly I want you to get out of your job just over broke, okay? All right. So that was my promise. Now let's show you what I promise on here. Look, I just want to remind you, in the lead generation business, each of your clients is reoccurring monthly customers. Just imagine you had 5 clients, and that $500 a month, that's just a tester. You see, that's just a tester just to, hey, let's see what 10 calls will do. Let's do 500 a month, and we'll get you 15 calls, and we'll see how it goes. After that, they're going to want more. Okay, guaranteed. So it's a very, very conservative numbers on here, but just at that very conservative number, it's $2,500 a month. That's $30,000 a year. Okay. Look, if you're like most people right now, your BS meter is like totally off to the right. It's like, this is total. This cannot possibly be. Where's the catch? What's going on here? Look, I promise there's zero catch. and I'll get into full 100% transparency in the details in a moment. But first, let me answer a few questions. And no, this is not too good to be true, okay? Look, this is a complete business in a box. It has 3 parts to it. The first part is leads. The second part, how to deliver leads. The second part is clients, how to get an endless supply of clients prepaying up front. And the third thing is scaling. What's going to happen is all of a sudden you're going to have 10 clients. You're going to be like, whoa, I'm feeling overwhelmed. What do I do now on here? So we're going to go over each one of those steps. This isn't just how to get clients, because if we did that, that would be 1/3 of what a complete business in a box would be. The first step on here, let's go over leads on here. Leads on here, we recommend that you start with AdWords call only ads. Why? Because they're low cost. They're a couple bucks a call. You cannot lose with them. Okay, they're easy to deliver. They don't